Hi, this is Megan. Welcome to Greenwood Grown. This is editing Megan, I guess. Uh, um, so it's been kind of a weird month for me. We went on vacation in October, had a lovely vacation. I filmed a garden tour right before I left, and I meant to edit it like on the plane or something, but I forgot. So, and then I came back and I got sick. And I'm feeling somewhat better. Not totally better, but I realized that I never posted my October garden tour, but I'm going to go ahead and post it anyway. My garden looks nothing like this right now, but you know what? We've had our first frost and everything's kind of mushy and gross, and I'm happy to remember it this way for right now. So enjoy this October garden tour. Bye. Hi friends, I'm Megan. This is Greenwood Grown. I'm a gardener in Oregon's Willamette Valley, and this is an October garden tour. So as you can see from behind me, here in Oregon, we haven't hit our first frost date yet. It's October 22nd. We usually don't before November, and so we still have a lot of produce coming out of the garden. It is starting to wind down, so go ahead and come take a look with me. This is one of my favorite times in the garden. We have just had our first big fall rain, and so everything perks up after the end of summer, where it's kind of wilty and starting to I don't know, just feel spent. The scarlet runner beans are full of beans. I grow these for the flowers. We did harvest a few of the beans, but they're not the best green beans in the world. I have no idea if you can eat the dried beans. If you do know, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be saving a few of these for seeds, which I have been doing quite a bit in my garden, pulling zinnia seeds from colors I particularly like. Look at this zinnia over here. Isn't that a fun one? I pulled a seed off of that. I don't have others like that. Or I pulled seed heads off of it to save. So fun. All right, let's take a walk through the garden. We had a little bit of an incident in the tomatillo bean patch. The dogs must have found or chased something into the tomatillo, and they kind of trampled it down. It doesn't seem to be bothering it too much. It's still producing tomatillas. The beans are still seem to be producing fine. They're just kind of looking a little flat. So the volunteer artichokes over here, I didn't harvest in time. I wasn't really that interested. They were pretty small, and I harvested a couple. There wasn't really enough meat on there after cooking them to make it something worth cooking, and so we let them go to flower, and I am never mad about that. I love artichoke flowers. They're so beautiful. Isn't that color so pretty? All right, over here, our extended heat in the fall, we had some unusually hot days in the fall, meant that we got a pretty good pepper harvest out of these peppers. Now these peppers are a cautionary tale. I couldn't get the seeds that I normally like. They were sold out. And so I bought some seeds off Amazon, and they were marked as Italian sweets, and they were not. They were bell peppers. Now, gratefully, we had enough heat to ripen those bell peppers, which is the first time I have ever grown bell peppers and had them change to their red or orange color. So while I will not be buying seeds off Amazon again, it was not a tragedy. The marigolds in the fall are at their most amazing and glorious. Aren't these so much fun? The second planting of sunflowers is mostly done, but we're starting to get a few side shoots. Like right here, you can see these little, this one's fallen over, but they don't care if they fall over. But right in there, we'll get some side shoots. That'll probably keep going on until the frost. Over here, I'm having a bit of a conundrum. The loofah has a couple of good size gourds on it and several smaller ones, but these are actually big enough to dry and use as the loofah sponge. However, they're supposed to dry on the vine, and we're at the end of October and there is no way they're going to dry out here. We won't have enough heat. So if you are in the Pacific Northwest and you have any suggestions for me, this is the first time I've ever got a loofah gourd to be big enough. And I've got, I think, 3 of them on here that are big enough to use. I've read a few things. I'm willing to try a couple of different things. If you have like a guaranteed, like you know what to do, let me know. Also, if you've eaten loofah, let me know. I was recently reading, I may have eaten loofah in the Philippines and not known what it was. So if you have eaten loofah, I've got some small ones that I'd like to try to cook. So let me know. Here's more beautiful artichoke flower. Oh, look at that. And the pollinators just love these. So I also love their color right before they burst into full bloom. Such a pretty color. This one's spent. If I had so many volunteer artichokes, I need to be careful to cut these down next year. I'm gonna be overwhelmed with artichokes. Never a bad problem, but the squash patch, a lot of it has died back. We do have some powdery mildew. The nasturtium have really filled in though, and I'm enjoying the nasturtium. And we're still getting a couple of tender squash off these plants. These are the first planting of sunflowers, and you can see they're totally done and need to be cut down. We'll get there. Over here in this first bed, we did flip this. We had a potato harvest. I showed that. I don't know that I've shown it on my Instagram yet, but I do have video of it, so it'll probably go on my Instagram. We've been harvesting beets. I made roasted beets and pickled beets the other day, and there's still quite a few to go. They'll be fine for a while still, and there's still quite a few to be harvested. And then this bed, you can't really see them in here, but I have some winter brassicas to go along with these 2 kale. I have a few more over here. They weren't as healthy. We tried to put the healthiest ones in, but we'll see what happens. This bachelor button and this borage are late season. They weren't there in the spring, and they just in these cooler weeks have just taken off. That's lots of fun. And this cucumber, this Japanese cucumber has started to bloom again and has a few more blooms on it. I may get a few small cucumbers off of it, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Over here, we have some more green beans. These are like a late hopeful. We'll see. They do have flowers on them. And they're starting to form beans, but we will just see if they have enough time. We have a few peas over here that they didn't do great, but there's some on there. Actually, oh, there's some. I'm probably going to pick those and throw them in our fried rice tonight. The cayenne did really well, and so did the, this is a Anaheim pepper. And you can see I have been harvesting peppers off these every couple of days, and you can see there's several on there that still need to be picked. We're headed out of town. I'll probably come back to a bush full of cayennes. The Malabar spinach is looking beautiful, and it's starting to set berries and will turn purple. I am interested in this as a dye, so I may try to collect some of them to use as dye. Mostly I grow it because I think they're so pretty with their purple stems and their purple flowers. Just such a pretty climbing vine. Over here, this is
sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke. It flowered a little bit, but it did not put out as many flowers as it did last year. Last year, these just had so many flowers. I'm hoping that they do flower a bit more. We'll see. We've got a few. There's a few in there mixed in with some of the blackberries, but they did have more flowers on them. Over here, we've been harvesting the cabbage slowly. I wanted to leave some of it until after the frost to see if it did get sweet. We did throw some diatomaceous earth on there to try and help with the slug problems. We'll see. The Brussels sprouts got attacked by something. Something is eating them. I also put diatomaceous earth on there, but they're not looking great, and I don't know if we will get Brussels sprouts this year. It could be that when the cold weather comes, whatever's on there will it looks like it looks like a mix of aphids and maybe flea beetles. I'm not really sure. Maybe they will recover after the cold weather. Maybe we'll have Brussels sprouts in the spring. We'll see. Over here, we've continued along with the mulching project, and I do have plants to go in right there, and I just haven't gotten to them yet. So we ran out of wood chips, and I need to order more. So back in the garden, sorry, a little hodgepodge today. We've been enjoying this bed of arugula greens. The cherry tomatoes have produced so many tomatoes this year. It is unbelievable. We've got 4 varieties in here, and I would say the vast majority of the fresh tomatoes we've eaten have been fresh tomatoes, and then I mostly canned our full-size tomatoes. As always, I am in love with these giant African marigolds. People ask me all the time what these are. They are marigolds. They come in a couple of different colors and varieties. There's these open ones that are yellow, and these big orange puffy are my favorite. I saved seeds from that one, but they really are 5 feet tall. That is how tall these plants are. They are so much fun, and I grow them intertwined with my cherry tomatoes, and they seem to all be really happy with that situation. The full-size tomatoes are doing something kind of weird. I don't really know what's going on with them, but they really are not, like, I went a whole week without picking a tomato. They're just staying green. Even when we had some late heat, I think I'm going to go in and prune them a little bit in the next week and see if I can get a few more to ripen. Otherwise, probably, we're headed out of town, and probably when I come back, if I don't get them to ripen in a couple of days, actually, probably no matter what, I'm going to pull these green tomatoes and put them in the greenhouse. Over here, we have rainbow chard back here in the background. It's this yellow right back here. There's also red and orange. Rainbow chard is just, we planted it in the spring. It produces all summer. It's a great substitute for celery. It's easier to grow. I just am a big fan of rainbow chard. It doesn't taste exactly like celery, but it's pretty similar, and it's just so pretty and so easy to grow. These Romanesco squash, you can see, are dying from powdery mildew, and I heavily prune them and they put on more growth, but I don't really think that they're going to be producing any more squash. So it's on the agenda to rip those out and just get this bed ready for winter. We do have cilantro growing right here. That's what that is. And this is a great time of year for us to be growing cilantro. So that's great. Forgot about the Japanese eggplant. The Japanese eggplant did so well this year. You can see it's about 4 feet tall, and I have just gotten a lot of eggplant off of it this year. It is setting bloom again, but unless I decide to dig a couple of these up and put them in my greenhouse, these are very frost tender and they will die back. I probably won't do that. They're easy to grow and we get plenty of eggplant growing it this way. So probably not in the cards for me to save the eggplant. The herb garden sure does love a good rain, and it's looking great. As we start to get ready for fall, I will prune back the lavender and put some mulch down in a few of these places to help protect some of the more tender plants. I always have fun with the coneflower flowers in the fall. I never cut them back. One, I want them to go to seed, and two, they just fit in with Halloween and spooky season. They're the spookiest looking flowers in the garden, and I kind of like it. And the rest of the herb garden, as you can see, the lemon balm that I cut way back because it was just unhappy in the heat has come back. It looks great. This lavender, now that it's cooled, is setting flower. And I'm hopeful, this is one that got damaged in our April snow. And I'm hopeful, I'm gonna cut this back, mulch it, and I'm hopeful it will come back well next spring. The zinnias are still looking really pretty and providing us with lots of cut flowers. The forget-me-nots have turned out to be a great filler in my arrangements, and I really like them. They do need to move. I didn't expect them to be as tall as they are, so it's on my task list to dig these up and rehome them. And that they may I may never get rid of them, but there are 3 calla lilies in here that I want to give this space to. We've got some more zinnias, and this part of the garden's looking a little bit scraggly, but I am loving the alyssum. I grew this from seed, and I'm happy to just have it soften this edge of the sidewalk. And then the straw flower is still looking really good. I harvested a lot of it, so there aren't a lot of blooms on it. And then I just am so curious to see what happens with the Sweet William. Again, when everything else is kind of looking tired, this time of year, the marigolds just perk right back up, and also the nasturtium is looking really great and pretty. Over here in these leftover zinnias that I grew, just because I had more than I knew what to do with, and I have young, you can see over here, I have young Weigelia that didn't really flower. And they look kind of silly, but they did their job. They produced flowers and put color at the front of my house, and next year they probably won't be here. But I did save seeds from this fun thing. Isn't that wild? And a few others from this bed. So, but we've got some purple grasses and the purple Weigelia, and hopefully they were planted in the spring, but hopefully after getting a lot of water through the winter that they will bloom and they will become the color for this space. I wanted to show you this dahlia. It struggled. This is a really heat intense part of my garden. It's actually on asphalt, and I think it was a little hot for the dahlias. I'm not sure that they will stay here, but now that it's cooled down, this one has just decided to go to town. This one, however, has decided it's done blooming. So, you know, you get what you get. Love the strawberry tower, as always. It's October. We're still eating strawberries. What a treat. Who gets to eat strawberries in October? Only in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know, maybe somewhere else, but I don't know of anywhere else. Speaking of zinnias, speaking of dahlias, look at this beauty. I just love her. This was just in a mixed bag of dahlia tubers from Costco. It has to move. The bamboo that I cut down to put it in here, just, you know, no matter how much I pulled it out, it came back with a vengeance. So I'm going to go ahead and actually empty this pot. See if anyone wants the young bamboo. There's also sweet potatoes in here that I planted. Look how pretty these are. I'll definitely be doing more of that. Those sweet potato vines coming off the edge. I really like that. And they didn't grab onto things and pull them over like the Thurbergina or the black-eyed Susan vine did. So I'll be doing some more of that and just regular old sweet potatoes. And we've got a volunteer sunflower there that, I don't know, she might bloom. She might get there. Pansies are happy. Of course, these funny pansies lasted all summer. They just had enough shade. And now that it's cooled down again, they just started to bloom their hearts out again. The giant impatient is still giant, still happy. We'll just keep going along on that adventure. I did harvest my ginger and I kept a few little plants and repotted them, just these little ones right here. I'll throw them in my greenhouse and see if they survive, and if not, we'll grow more ginger next year. Oh, somebody wants to say hello. Are they good doggies? Are they good? I can't video you if you come right up. Oh, okay. All right. Seeds that I started for flowers to winter over have done really well, especially the alyssum and the Shasta daisies and the aster have done really well. So we'll have quite a few of those in the garden next year, and we've got onions to put over under the fruit trees as well. These other ones have strawberries in them. Some of them are doing well, some of them are not. They were just runners from the other from the tower, and so whatever we get will be great. Lastly, isn't this straw flower pretty? And the black-eyed Susan vine growing in there, it is so pretty. It just does pull down other things, so I'll be reconsidering how I grow that. These beds are starting to look a little rough. This dahlia got attacked by flea beetles, I think. And that's okay. I've had that happen on other first-year dahlias. The tubers will be fine and it will come back next year. And isn't this zinnia fun? Just one little plant producing all those pink flowers. And then this, my original dahlia, she's doing great. This dahlia got attacked by flea beetles. I think that's what they are. They're, you know, little tiny prolific black bugs. And was fine the next year. That's what's going on in my garden in October. Things are starting to wind down, but we're not done yet. We still have some time to get beds put to bed, to get beds put to bed for the winter, and get some things in the ground before our first frost. I need to plant garlic. Little behind this year. I should have planted it this week, and we're leaving for vacation this week, and it'll just have to be a little bit later, and that's fine. That's fine. So I hope that you found this interesting. Thank you for walking through my garden with me. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, you could like, subscribe. I'd be happy to walk with you through my garden again. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.